Yeah, internet today has some issue. I don't know what's wrong with it. Okay, started. Let's copy this guy here. Alright. So the bootstrap, I just replaced the old link. I think the old link just somehow stops working. Maybe I just touched the character or something. So this is a login page, and if everything is working, I should be able to log in as Shiyu here, and I can see my websites, my pages, and all the widgets. Everything is working. So this is what we have from the last assignment. And in this assignment, we are going to firstly to install the Mongo database. So if you're using your own computer, you have to go to the MongoDB, search for MongoDB, and the first one here, that is the most popular database for the modern apps. MongoDB is the most popular database for modern apps. Right, this is a MongoDB's database website. If you are using the lab computer, this software is already installed. And if you're using your own computer, you have to go to here, go to the download, try free. Super slow today. Right, so you're gonna go to the server and download and install it. Right, once you download, just keep clicking next, and it will be able to guide you through the installation. And once you install it, if you open any like a terminal, type Mongo -- version, is going to be able to show you what version of Mongo you're using. Right, I'm using the Mongo shell version 4.0.9. Yours maybe have a different version, but as long as it's Mongo version 4 point something, it should be fine. I think even 3 is going to be fine. Right, so once you install the Mongo, you will be able to run the Mongo database and take a look at that. So I also actually have a slide here. Resources. Come on. All right, database. Yeah, database, or which one should it be? MongoDB, actually, MongoDB. This is for the SQL database. Yeah, we haven't finished that yet. Actually, it's finished. Yeah, but it just has a lot. So if you are interested in the SQL database, the relational database, also have slides here. Right, this is for the MongoDB. Let's focus on this one for now. So this is the link to download and installation. So NoSQL database. It's not a relational database because we are not storing things and in tables to connect them together. Right. So start the MongoDB server. We are going to inside your application here. You're gonna have to opening another tab. All right. Click plus here, opening another one. And if you do MongoD, just type MongoD here. That means to opening it's gonna say waiting for connection on port 27017. That means to start the Mongo server, it's going to be like the node server. It's just going to be the Mongo server going to be running forever, waiting for any request. Like if you're asking for updating any data inside it, if you want to delete any information inside it, that's going to be waiting for your asking. All right, it's just going to be like the node server. It's running forever, waiting for your request. Right, give it back a response. So MongoD, just leave this open, leave this one running. Don't have to touch it anymore. Just like the node server, right? That is how you start it. So data will be stored at C drive. The default setting for the MongoD is that it's going to store your data at C drive, data folder, and DB folder by default. So if you do not see something like this one, like it means you may get an error saying like a Mongo database cannot be running. That means you need to go to your C drive, like open your computer, this PC, and go to your C drive, and create a data folder manually. Right click, new folder, and create this data folder, and inside it create a DB folder. Create a DB folder inside it. Right, inside the data folder, create a DB folder. That's it. Do not have to add anything into it. The Mongo database is going to looking for this DB folder and using this as a default place to store all your data. All right. So if you do not have this folder, you're gonna have to create it. I think if you're using a lab computer, they all have this one. So it's gonna be data and DB right inside here. So that's the first step to set up everything. So just very easy. Just download the MongoDB, and if you're using a lab computer, you already have it. And just go to the C drive, create a data folder and a DB folder, and do the MongoDB in the terminal. And it's ready for listening to any request. Right. And to modify the data inside the MongoDB, well, without using the application, we can actually also open another terminal. For example, I will open another one. If I type Mongo, last time it was MongoDB, right? I'm gonna leave that open and open another one, type Mongo. So now you'll be able to, you're connecting with a Mongo database. You're able to give it any modification you want, any operation you want. For example, I can say show DBs. It actually has some showing all the database I have here. I have an admin database, I have a config database, I have a local database, and I have an ULEM database. Right? It shows all the database I have inside here. It's a little bit tiny. Let's see if I can make it bigger. That's all the database I have here. Show DBs, you're gonna be able to show all the database you have. So firstly, let's do it together again. So this is where you come from. Just do a Mongo. That means connecting with the database, connecting with the MongoDB you opened. And you can give a command here. The first command I'm introduced is called show DBs. That means show databases I have 4 here: admin, configuration, local, and ULEM. You may have a different number of databases. But this show DB is going to show all kinds of databases you have here. All right, that's the first command. Yeah, show DBs, showing the current databases we have in the MongoDB server. And next one is use DB name. It allows you to switch to another database. For example, I can say use webmaker. Say webmaker, and switch to DB webmaker. Well, we do not have webmaker database in this list. So when you do use webmaker, it's basically going to create a new one for you. Right? Right now, if you say show DBs, it still won't show the webmaker database here because the webmaker right now is empty. So it's just it will hide it. It won't show it for you. Once we insert our first data inside it, the webmaker also going to be showing here. Right now, if you do show DBs, it won't show you there. But like as long as we're using the use webmaker, that means whatever command I give here, like so for example, if I say insert some data into the database, it knows you want to insert the data into the webmaker database. Right, let's try it. So I actually have the command in the slide here. We have show collections. It shows all the collections of data you have in database. Right now, I don't think we have any. Show collections. Yeah, it's just not going to give you anything because in the webmaker, we do not have any collections here. Let's keep going. So it says db the collection name the insert. That is the command to insert data into the database. Right, let's try it. So if I do db the, if I say I want to insert some data into user collection, remember all different kinds of data are different collections right now. User is a collection, website can be a collection, page can be a collection, and the widget can be a collection. The way you separate them into different collections, it depends on you. But the way you usually separate them depends on different types. Right. For example, the DB user, the insert, right, takes a parenthesis, and what I want to insert here. For example, it's going to be a curly brace. and I can insert any kind of object I want. For example, I can say this object is going to have a username. Username is a string, Alice, and the password Alice. I hit enter. This is right result. Number of inserted and inserted is 1. That means you inserted one data into a database. Let's try it again. So if right now if I say show DBs, you say WebMaker is come up. It means we have data inside it. Let's take a look. So I already did use WebMaker, so I do not have to do it again. But if you just do it again, it won't change anything because we are already inside it. If I do show collections, it's going to show all the collections we have in the WebMaker. It says we have a user collections right now inside it. See that? And I can do DB, the user, the find. This is the data I have inside this user collection. I have a see, it's actually created generated a ID for it. This is the ID. I didn't put it here, but it just generated a unique ID for it. That has username Alice and the password Alice. And if you do DB the user the find, and you put a dot pretty, it's gonna make it looks more easier to read for human. Computer doesn't really care about it, but it's just make it readable for humans. So you can see have ID, have username, and the password. This whole thing is just an object. Right? Let's try to insert another data. Let's say DB the user the insert. This time let's put username Bob, password Bob. Alright, let's hit enter. Let's try it again. DB the user the find the pretty. You see I have two objects here. Just screen is not big enough, but let's make the font size smaller. So I have both Alice and Bob inside it. Right. So I have the first one and the second one. So DB user the find gives me two objects inside it. I can keep inserting the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one. That's going to be all data inside it, inside the user collection. And we can also insert data into another collection. For example, I can say DB the website, the insert. Actually, literally, I can put any kind of data in here. For example, I can say website maybe have a name. Oops. So I mistakenly hit enter. So just give me an error. Let's try it again. Insert name. Name of the website can be Gizmodo, and it can have a description. Let's say it can be lorem. Right. This is Gizmodo. Hit enter. And writing result 1. That means it's inserted. Let's try it. So show collections. So I have both user and website. Right, both user and website. Let's try it. DB the website, the find, the pretty. Pretty just make it looks pretty. They have the name and description. Also, it gives a unique ID here. Every time when you insert some data, it's going to give a unique ID to it. Right? Hope that makes sense. So right now I have two collections. I have user collection and website collection. Let's take a look. Let's keep going. So DB the name the find, we're talking about that. It just gives you the data you have inside the collection. We also have DB the name the remove. You will be able to remove the data from the database. Right? For example, if I type DB the website, the remove, it's going to remove all data inside the website. Oops, it gives me an error. I think, I also need a empty curly brace here. Yeah, so it means the number of removed is 1. I removed 1 data inside of it. So right now, if I check DB the website, the find, it won't have anything returned because it's empty right now. We removed it. And we can also tell the MongoDB which data I want to remove. For example, I can say remember in the user, DB the user.find, I have two data. Right, I have the data of Alice and data of Bob. I can tell him I want to remove which data. So I can say DB the user the remove. In the curly brace, I can say I want to remove the one has username is equal to Alice. So it's going to looking for all the data and remove all the data has username equal to Alice. Click OK. It says number of removed is 1. And then right now, if I check the user database, I only have Bob left here. Alice is removed. Let's insert more data. For example, I can insert this DB the user.insert Bob. I insert 3 Bobs here. So let's try it again. DB the user.find. I have the Bob 3 times, right? Bob 4 times actually. 4 Bobs here, and I can use DB the user the remove. If I just leave the curly brace empty, it's going to remove all data inside here. I can hit enter. It says okay, number of removed is 4. I removed 4 data here. So if I check in right now, DB user.find is empty. Right? That's how you remove data from it. And we can also have update. The update takes 2 things. The first thing is which one you want to update. The second one is what you want to update it into. Right, let's try it. So let's insert Bob again. Insert the Bob. Well, right now I have Bob inside it. I have the Bob inside it. Let's try to update it. DB the user the update. I want to update the one with username equal to Bob, and I want to update that into let's say username. I want to change it to, I don't need curly brace here. I want to change the username into Alice, and the password I want to keep it as Bob. Right, hit enter. So write results. So one of the records we found, so we updated the 1, right? Modified is 1. Match 1, modified 1. Let's try it. So DB the user find. You see what I have here right now is username is Alice, password is Bob. We updated it from Bob to Alice Bob. Right. So we did already just introduce all basic command, including find. Right, just retrieve all the information you have in the database. And we're talking about insert. That means adding new information into the database. We're also talking about how to update it. Right, update the old one into some new data you want, and also how to delete it. Those 4 different commands are just basic commands of everything. Like we talked about those basic commands in the server side. Right now we just talked about how to do that in the database side. That's called a CRUD command. We're talking about that. It's CRUD. Right. Let's create, retrieve, update, and delete. CRUD command. CRUD. Create, how to create data, how to update data, how to retrieve data, and how to delete data. Just 4 different commands here. You may need some practice to have fun to test it. So DB the user the remove. Let's clear it up. Clear up the user collection. And right now I just have 2 empty collections here. So if I say show collections, I have user and website, but there's no data inside it. If you try to find something inside it, it's just empty. Right. So in the newer version of the MongoDB, you also have the MongoDB campers you can use. That is, the one we're using was a client CLI, command line interface, right? It also have the graphic interface, GUI here, GUI here. You'll be able to actually using this software to modify data inside it. Well, that's something we didn't have. It just they just created this one you can use. Once you install the MongoDB, it's just come up with it. It's called the MongoDB campers. Once you open it, just hit connect here. Yeah, internet here today is very slow. All right, so it's going to show all the database you have inside here. So it has admin, config, local, opening, and the webmaker. It's kind of small, but it's just different database names here. If I click the webmaker I just created here, it's going to show me all the collections I have. User collection, website collection. And then here is a button called Create Collection, where you'll be able to see that in the video later, but right now just a little bit small. I don't know, I can room in here. Yeah, I can room in here. Control Shift Plus. Yep. So it's different collections I have here. I can also choose Create Collection to adding a new one. And you can see I want adding a page collection, Create Collection. And the loading database takes some time. This computer is not better than okay. So I just create a new one, and I can go to a different collection, user collection. It's gonna shows me all data I have here. I can choose. I can also add in filters here. I can also insert a document here. So I insert a new information with a username equals to Alice, right? And how do I go to next line? Okay, here. Password, Alice, right? Hit insert. It's just created here. It's just a graphic interface you can use here. Right? If you're using the system like Windows, okay, keep inserting Bob. Oh, sorry, not Bob. What I'm doing is username Bob. And password Bob is insert. Right, so I have two records here. The thing you insert here, you're also able to find inside the terminal here. So if I say show collections, I have three right now. I have page, user, and website right now. And DB the user the find. You still have this is two data I just inserted. Right, they're just connected because both of them are connected to the MongoDB we opened. Right, so and I can also delete it here. I have update, so I'm able to just directly update it here. Update it to Bob, something like that, and hit update. It's going to be able to update, and I can also delete it here. Delete. Right, so you can also do modify it from here. But if you are using some system like Linux, it may not have a GUI available for you, so then you have to use the command. But just let you know, like if you're using the Windows, you can just always using the GUI. That may be much easier than remember all the commands. But if you're using our system, you may have to remember them. All right, so just let you know, like you have multiple choices right now. Yeah, that's just how data are stored inside the database. And our job right now is to move the existing data from server one by one to the database. And then we will rewrite the code. Instead of getting the data from server, we'll send a request to the database asking it from the database. All right. So today, let's firstly move all the data. Let's make it smaller right now. I cannot say anything else. So let's start moving our data. So inside the server, let's see. I have user server. It has data of users. Let's insert those data into the Mongo database. Remember, do not insert the ID into it, because the Mongo database is going to generate the automatic generated ID for us. But you can still use the old one if you like. But I just think this is not a good idea because it's not like a unique enough. It's 1, 2, 3. It's too simple. We want a much complex one. So we can basically just delete that. We do not need the ID here. We do not need the ID of it anymore. Right. And I think we're going to insert them one by one. So we just copy this line here. Username, password, first name, last name, email. That's the first one. Copy that. I don't know if we can install them all of them at once. Let's try it. Actually, let's try it. Maybe we can install all of them at once. So remember, you're gonna open a new terminal here. Do a Mongo. Right. Then we're gonna do a db.use. Not db user. Just use web-maker. Use webmaker database. You can give another name if you like. We're just going to use in webmaker. So let's try to do a db the user the insert. Let's try to insert them. I'm not sure if I can insert the whole array. Let's try it. I don't think I can, but I just want to try it here. Paste that into the parenthesis. Hit enter. Seems like I have some typo here. Let's try it again. Sorry. Try it again. db the user the insert. Put this one here and close the parenthesis. Actually, I can. I think I just inserted all of them. Let's try it. db the user the find the pretty. Yeah, I just inserted Alice, Bob, Charlie, and Xiyu inside it, and they have the different object ID right now, right? Like it has a 5C something, just some complex ID here. Right, that's how you insert them. So it's just gonna be right. Get rid of the ID. Remember, get rid of the ID and then copy the array from the square bracket to a square bracket. Copy that. Copy that. And inside here, remember you're gonna do the first thing. You're gonna open terminal and do Mongo and say use webmaker, web-maker. Use the webmaker here and do db the user the insert. Open the parenthesis and paste that curly brace in. Right click, just right click right click just means paste here, right? Just right click it and close the parenthesis and hit enter. It's gonna copy. It's just gonna insert everything inside it. All right. I'm just cancel it because I already installed it. Once you've done that, you want to use in db the user the find to check are those data are all inserted or not. Right. If you want to see it clearly, you can just say .pretty. Make sure you have all the data inside it. And make sure you have all the data inside it. You're gonna have Alice, Bob, Charlie, and Xiyu. And it's also going to be, if you open the MongoDB campus, you can also see the data inside there. Right, let's also open that, save the data inside it. So if you connect, go to the webmaker, user. You see the data also in here. Alice, Bob, Charlie, and Xiyu. Right? Make sure you have all data inside it. That's for user. And let's go ahead. Also insert the information for the website. Let's go to the website. We can basically delete that right now. We don't need it anymore. Right? We don't need it in the server anymore because we're moving it to a database. And also that's gonna break all the functions you have here. That's gonna break all the functions I have here because right now it's still trying to get information from the server, but we already deleted that. So let's go to the website, do the same thing. Get rid of the ID. We don't need the ID here. Right, let's copy this whole array from the square bracket to the square bracket. Let's actually make the font size bigger so you can easier see it. Make it 30. Right. I basically just get rid of the ID of it. So it has the curly brace from here to here for the websites. Copy that. Let's go to here to do it. db the website collection, the insert, and open parentheses. Right click, paste that in. Just right click, right, and close the parentheses. Hit enter, and we just inserted the 7 records. Right, all those are inserted in the website right now. So if I do db the website, the find, the pretty, I have the website information inside here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's all of them are inside here right now. Let's keep going to the pages. Let's do this one. I don't need this one anymore. That's in the database. Right, it's going to be always there. Website. Page. Right, next one is page. Delete the ID. Let's copy that. This array from square brackets, copy, and db the page, the insert. Put that in, close that, hit enter. Right, so the pages are inserted. So I actually have 3 pages, 1, 2, 3. So db.page.find.pretty. So here are all the pages I have, 1, 2, 3. All right, it's in the database right now. So I can delete this one. Okay, and widget. So let's copy this one from here to here. That's all the widget. Oh, actually delete the ID. Don't input the ID inside it. All right. Oops. So let's copy that. Square bracket. Copy that. db.widget.insert. Okay. So let's say db.widget.find.pretty. Alright, so those are the widgets information I just inserted. And we can delete the widgets array right now. Right, so right now, all the information are in the database right now. So I have show collections. They're actually going to show page, user, website, and widget. And also in the MongoDB campus, you can also see those information inside here. So if you go back to the webmaker, actually this should be a refresh. How do I refresh it? Oh, here. There's a refresh button. Click on that. It's going to refresh it. So you have a page, have 3 documents. User have 4 documents. Website have 7. Widgets have 5. And you can just open to checking all the information you have here, or feel free to modify them here. And the information you have. Right, that's the first step to move our data into the database. Right. And then we need to connect our server to the database we have right now. Right now they are not connected anymore. Anyway, so we are going to firstly install a library. Here. So let's close this Mongo here. In the terminal, right, close that one. Control-C to exit that. So we're gonna do npm install. The library we need is called Mongoose. Right, npm install Mongoose. So it's G-O-O-S-E, Mongoose. So Mongoose is a library help you to connect your database and the server together. That's just what the library does. And whenever you give a command, it's help you to transfer your command into the MongoDB's command we just learned. Just firstly install that first. npm install Mongoose. Give it 1 minute. It's going to take some time to install it. After that is installed, we are going to it's done. And the 20 packages. Just after that is done, we need to go to the your code here. We're gonna create some new folders here. So inside the server folder, we are going to create some new folder, a new folder here. A new folder inside the server folder. It's called models. Again, we're trying to organize our files, so we're going to create a new folders to manage our database inside here. Right? Inside models, let's create a new other folders like a user, and another folder page, actually website, and new folders page, and models new folder widget. So right now, in your server folder, you should have 2 folders. One is services, it's old services files, and you have models folder. Inside it we have a page, user, website, and widgets. Similar thing, right? Both of them have this similar thing. Inside the models folder, you also want to create a new file, right? Models, create a new file. It's called models.server.js. models are server.js. And inside this file, we are going to connect server with the database we created. Right? Connect the server with the database we created. So the code I already put inside here, this part here. Right? Just copy that. And paste that in. So the code here is, let me expand it line to line. So first one saying variable connection string is MongoDB 127.0.0.1. That it just means local host. That just local host. And the 27017 is where the Mongo server is running. That is where the Mongo server is running. And here I'm gonna change the webdiv encode to webmaker. Right. So this one is the collections, the database name. Right. Well, remember our database name is webmaker. So here it says webmaker. So it's basically saying this is the place we want to connect it. It's database localhost 27017. Remember in the MongoDB it's already said like waiting for connection on port 27017. That's the default port for the Mongo database. And here it says webmaker. Right, that's his database name. Right. And this part, this if cases, you can ignore this for now. This is how you connect it with the hierarchy. Right. We haven't talked about that yet. You can ignore that for now. And the variable mongoose require mongoose. It's just so simple. Just import the mongoose library to here, right? And here it says mongoose the connecting string. That means using the mongoose, we want to connect with this connecting string. That means it's going to connect the server with the database. Just this one, just one line. Mongoose the connecting string, and the module that exports this database. We just exports it out so we can use it in other files. Let's save it. And this is what we got in here. Still saying running on 3100. Nothing changes. Let's connect. Let's adding this file into the app.js here. App.js we're going to use connecting these two files. So after this four things require, we're going to have another require. Actually, we're going to put that as first one. So require the file we just created. // models folder / model.server, and just that's it. Save it. Okay, I'm getting this one here, and let me fix this one first. I think that's easy to fix. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change the code a little bit. So there's a variable here. This db needs to be changed a little bit into this. I'm going to change the code we have inside there. This one, I'm gonna replace this one. Change it into that. So we're connected with the connection string. We also need to set up the user URL parse equal to true. I don't know what it does. I have no idea, but this is just what this warning told me. It's saying the current URL string is deprecated, and please using it's going to be removed in the future. So please using a new parser. Parser option, use new parser true. So just put this one here. Use the new parser true, and just using the MongoDB's new parser to make it more, I think, less deprecated. So, all right. So that's how you connect it. So right now, what this file does is just using Mongoose to connect your node server with your Mongo server. Because right now they are connected together right now, right? Well, we put the app.js here. So all you need to do is just go to here, go to the assignment requirement, just copy this one into the model server.js, and also adding that one into the app.js here to connect them together. And make sure your server is still saying running on 3100 and there's no any error showing. Right, let's see what else we need to do. Let's see. The next part is start to implement the user data model. Yeah, we're going to implement a couple of functions inside it. So before that, let's let's create some files here. So in the models folder, we have user folder here, right? Let's create a new file, first file inside user folder. We're gonna create a user.schema, schema .js, right? Just call it user.schema.js. Inside this file, we are going to create a user schema. The schema just means the structure of a user. All right, it's actually very simple. Let me show you how to do it. So we're going to say constant mongoose is equal to require the mongoose library. All right, that's the first thing. We're going to import the mongoose library, and we're going to create constant the user schema, capitalize U, user schema is equal to mongoose dot schema, capitalize S. Now we're going to create a user schema here. Basically, we're trying to see what a user looks like. The schema means the structure of a user. So the schema will put the object here. So it's going to be user name. User name is a string. Right, string just some characters. A password is also a string. And I have first name. That's how user looks like, right? First name is also a string. Actually, for first name we're gonna put the type. We're gonna make it harder. So I mean the type of it is a string. It also has the default value. It's empty. That means when I register a new user, if I didn't give the first name, the default first name will be empty string. I give a default value here. This one just doesn't have a default value when I say username and password, because every time I create a user, I'm going to give the new username and password. But maybe I do not give the first name, but the default one is going to be empty string. Right? Same thing for last name. Last name, the type of it is a string, and default is empty. And what else we have? We have email. Right? We have email. The type of it is a string, and default is empty. Right? It's auto formatted for me. Let me cancel that. Sorry, this auto format I have. Format unsafe. Gonna cancel it. Right. So this is how it looks like. Also, after it, you're gonna put a parenthesis. After this object, put a comma and another curly brace. In here, we're going to tell it, so which collection you want to store this kind of data. So I'm going to say collection is equal to user. That means you want to store this schema is for the user collection in the database. Tell him which collection is the schema is for. So say collection user. That means the schema we have here, the structure we have here is for the user collection. Right? That's it. So all we need to do is export it. Module the exports is equal to this user schema. Right. So by doing this, we are telling the database all the user will have the following data. It's going to have the username, have password, have first name, last name, and email. And we also tell it what kind of data we have. If someone right now trying to insert a user without those data, it's going to be the database is going to give you an error. Or if you're trying to insert data with a username is actually not a string, maybe it's a boolean, username equals true, password equals false, it's going to give you an error. Right? The schema basically trying to do a check before we insert data into the database. Tell the database what kind of what user data it looks like. Right? So we're going to do the same thing for the rest of it. Actually, we can. I'll do it tomorrow for the website, for the widgets, and for the page. Yeah, you can go ahead and doing the same thing for them. We actually have the table ready here. See, this is the username here. Data created. Yeah, you can also have a data created here. So the benefit of that is like every time when I register new user, I can know when was this user was created. Yeah, when was this user created? So for example, here after user email, you can say date created. The type of that is date, and default is date done now, which just give you the current date. Well, when we create a new user, we're definitely not going to give a data created, but it has a default value. So whenever you create it, it's going to have a default the current data, the current date showing here, like showing like this user is created on May 28th, 2019, and the current time going to also be marked here. Right, and right now if you insert a new user information, it's going to insert the current dates there to showing like when this user was created. So we can have some we'll be able to tracking. Okay, so how many user was created before today? How many user was created in 2019? And who I want to delete all the user created before 2015. You can do that. Right, to just give you some records here you want. Right, that's for the user, and also we're going to create the one for the website. Website have developer ID, name, description, and data created, and the page have the website ID, name, title, and data created, and the widget. Widget have a bunch of the data. Right, we're going to do them next time. I think I'm going to stop right here. I don't want to push it too fast. Tomorrow we're going to start to creating the user part to actually create those functions in the user part. Like whenever you want to register a new user, we send a request to the server, and the server going to send the request to the database, and the database is going to handle it and give a response back. Tomorrow we're going to do the part where we're connecting the server with the database. We're not going to touch the client side anymore. The client side is perfect right now, and the only thing going to change is, remember in the user server.js here, where those functions right now, they are trying to like change the user array we used to have here, but we deleted it right now, right? So in the user server.js, we used to have a users array here, and those functions are trying to modify it right now. Not going to work anymore because we removed that array. And tomorrow we're going to change those functions and ask it to, instead of modify the array directly, you send out a request to the server to the database. The database is going to update it for you and give you a response, and you just give that response, forward that response to the client side. Right, we're going to do that tomorrow to rewrite this file, and also we're going to create some database side functions. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop right here so you can have some time to set up everything. Okay, one thing I forgot. So after you set up these things here, you also want to set up about your hierarchy, right? Your hierarchy right now, it doesn't have any database. So when we are working locally, we're using the localhost 27017 port to host our local database. But when we go to the hierarchy, it's going to using another database, a database online. Right, a database online. So we're going to install a database in the hierarchy. What's wrong with the hierarchy? I cannot open it. Yeah, something wrong with the internet this morning. So we're gonna go to the hierarchy to install the online database in the hierarchy. Tell hierarchy like I want to install a Mongo database inside it. I don't know why I cannot open it. Something wrong with the internet this morning. Give some time. Are you guys able to open it? No? Yeah, something wrong with the internet this morning. Okay, I'm gonna leave that later. Yeah. So just go ahead and just working on the set things up, right? To move the data from server to a database, and also create the user schema and the model server.js. Right. This assignment actually going to be very easy because the only thing we need to touch is just server side. The client side is already done. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the recording right here because the internet is just somehow just not working. Yeah, a lot of things not working this morning. Let me stop the recording.